Christian Miller looked good. Fred Kerley, no glasses today. Really good start by Courtney Lindsay. Really good job getting out, picking up good distance per step. Look at that distance there. Really good. And then even Christian Miller, take a look at Christian Miller. Much better with his reaction time there. Got out pretty good, got his knees through. I mean, this position, Christian Miller couldn't have wanted to get in a better position than right there, right? That's a great spot to be as he's starting, as he's accelerating. Courtney Lindsay obviously was able to continue to drive. Courtney Lindsay was looking really good. I mean, could have come out and run 988. Really, really good spot. And then we'll see Fred Kerley. Fred Kerley was a little bit, he wasn't out as well today. So that is definitely an interesting thing to be able to consider. I think he got through his drive phase all right. It wasn't too bad in the drive phase. But he just didn't have a great start. Didn't look good in the start. He looked at his top end, though. Right? He was able to definitely catch Courtney Lindsay. To me, though, I think Courtney Lindsay got to about here and then was kind of easing up, right? Like right about there, kind of eased up a little bit. Yeah, Ronnie ran 998. We can see even, no, Ronnie didn't do great. I mean, I was going to say he might have eased up as well, but it doesn't look like he's easing up. It looks like he's kind of stumbling there. Christian Miller, I mean, got to give it to him. 994. I think that is good enough to be able to make it to the finals. I mean, he's got to be top 3. He's probably got to just beat, Kenny Bednarik. So we'll see what Kenny Bednarik runs, what that time ends up being. Let me see here. They're getting ready with Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles is wearing red today.
He's going to do it again. He has always been a fan of Japanese.
Got a different Yu-Gi-Oh card today. Sure you guys saw that. If you guys are watching this and you're liking it, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, all that type of good stuff. If you want to watch more videos, we're always looking into the mechanics here. So that's really the main part of the channel. I know some of you guys might want to just see the whole thing right through, but we like to put a big focus on the mechanics and your development of the mechanics. Let me get my charger here real quick. But we're minutes away of being able to see Noah Lyles as well. Let's get a couple different angles here. I don't know how many angles they actually saw. I was mostly doing the live stream, so we'll see what other angles we got. Noah Lyles ran 9.8. Kenny Bednarik, 982. JT Smith, 994. Get that up for you in just a second. They're about to start going. Let's take a look at this. So this is that initial run. Looked really good. Yeah, see, it looks like Ronnie Baker's stumbling a little bit. We'll see if he makes it through. The first heat to me was the best heat. That had the most amount of competition in it. Christian Miller, Ronnie Baker, Courtney Lindsay, Fred Kerley. That was the one to get through. So Christian Miller coming in third there should be enough to be able to get him into the finals. 994, he's got to be able to really put it on in that second half in order to make it on the team. He's got to do a great job. If you guys, let me know if you guys think how he's going to do there. Yeah, not as much knee drive, right? Not as good a lift here with those legs as getting out. Not as good of a reaction. Limited with that push. We talked about yesterday how he can do better with his push. And so being able to improve that's going to be big. The original is on NBC here, Charlie. If you want to watch the whole thing, I guess, live, then you could see that. We're going to have Noah Lyles running his semifinal in just a second. Again, Courtney Lindsay looked really good. Great acceleration. Got into his top speed. Looks very relaxed at this point. And then just kind of shuts it down. Let me see what ended up being the same the whole times. Dang, but Jai Austin 9.9, Kendall Williams 9.97, JT Smith 9.94. We had a lot of interesting runs there. Get that running. Huh. Yeah, I mean, Kenny Bednarik looked really good there. Not going to lie. Kenny Bednarik looked really, really good. We're going to get this up in just a second. Got Noah Lyles coming up here. The intros took forever. I mean, of course, Noah Lyles has always got to have a nice long intro. Get like a 45-inch vertical jump right beforehand. I'm sure you guys have seen that before he runs. Goes and just jumps ridiculously high. But that's that explosiveness right there. All right, so we got this coming up here. Noah Lyles. It's only a 40-second video. I cut it down a good amount here, so we should be able to get a nice, clean video. Oh, man, it's taking a little bit of time. Last heat, we have, again, not as good. I mean, Christian Coleman's obviously the big one in that last heat. 9.8 and 9.82. 9.8 even, 9.82. So, I mean, Noah Lyles definitely did not run all the way through with that as well. He can run not way faster, but he can definitely run faster than 9.8. We're going to see faster than 9.8 today, undoubtedly. Yes, you are right. This is all wind aided. We have a 3-mile-an-hour wind, so it's not going to end up counting with the official times. But still, if we can get I'd love to see wind aided Noah Lyles 9.6. I think that would be a great time. I think that would be awesome to be able to see that. All right, they're getting set up here. I'll zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's true. Christian Coleman with 3 meters per second with the wind. That is going to be a crazy time. We're going to see some crazy times today. That is for sure. Noah Lyles, good start, good reaction. See lane 6. Zacchaeus Baird also had a pretty good start, pretty good reaction. Where was Austin? Lane 6. Lane 5, Kendall Williams. JT Smith is in lane 2. A lot of knee drive there with JT Smith. Noah Lyles doing a good job. He didn't actually get out super well. Kenny Bednarik also didn't get out super well. But both looked very, very smooth all the way through. I mean, just really didn't put a ton of effort in. I like JT Smith, though. JT Smith looks good. Jai Austin didn't have a bad reaction. Looks like he just got out of his drive phase a little bit early. Popped up a little bit too soon, though. It's one of those things you want to be able to get upright early on, but you don't want to end up popping up too much where now you've put yourself in a position where you can't get back into accelerating very well. We're in the commercials here for heat number 3. We'll have the update of what happens in heat number 3 in just a second. We're also getting the other view for this event as well. Good arm swing with Noah Lyles. I mean, already I've seen some kind of surprising performances. Kenny Bednarik, I don't know if any of us really thought that he would end up running 982 in the semis. Like, that's crazy to me with how good, and he looks good too. Like, he looks fresh. That acceleration looks good. There's a lot of things that looks good about Kenny Bednarik right there. Even when he gets to his top speed, I mean, it also looks like he's really not pushing. Like, he's kind of easing himself through, as is Noah Lyles. They both are crossing everybody. I mean, Bednarik might be that dark horse to be able to win the finals. I would not be super surprised to see Bednarik, after that semifinal performance, run in the, go and make the Olympic team. 982, I mean, if that's not good enough, then what is? Oh, we got 986 with Christian Coleman. We got the times coming through with the third heat. Let's see. We have 986. We also have 995. So looks like we're going to have JT Smith. We're going to have Christian Miller, the high schooler. We're going to have Kendall Williams as well. So we're going to have a pretty stacked final here. So the final is going to be Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarik, Christian Coleman, Courtney Lindsay, Fred Kerley, Christian Miller, JT Smith, Brandon Hicklin, and Kendall Williams. It's going to be good. Going to be good. Man, we're still waiting to get this video here. I got to keep that going. I'm going to go all the way through this Christian Coleman video. 986, yep, with only 1.5 on the wind. Great job getting out, as always. Didn't look great at his top speed. Christian Coleman honestly did not look like that was his best race. I do think he's going to be able to put something up a lot better. It looked like he was kind of stumbling forward a little bit more. Which race here? I'll go and show the whole thing here. I think I could probably show the whole thing. We'll go through. Let's test it out. We'll see. Hopefully I don't get in too much trouble with this. We'll see. That was the race right there. We'll do the same thing with Christian Coleman. We'll show it to you guys live. Coleman, Kenny, and Lyles. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Coleman looked good. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like he didn't look good and like he's going to end up struggling or something like that. He definitely looked solid. It was just one of those things where it's like he didn't look at his best. How about that? I think we've seen a better whoop.
Tonight here in prime time.
Hold on.
And the three world champions,
Why does
Fred
that keep
Kerley,
on
Christian
happening?
Coleman, Noah Lyles.
All right. Seconds away here from getting this Christian Coleman video. I'll stop with that. Boom. Pretty quick video. We're going to have Noah Lyles as well in just a second from other angles. But unfortunately, that video is just taking forever to get up. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for showing what I just showed, but we'll see. A slow season. Yeah, definitely not a slow season, that's for sure. 9-8. I mean, it's one of those things where it's an Olympic season, right? So because it's in the Olympics, or Olympic year, we're going to end up really seeing some probably the best times, but it's just going to be a little bit later on. I know, right? It's hard to pick the top three. It's hard to leave Fred Kerley out, right? Like, how can we leave Fred Kerley out of that list? Just one of those things that are just very tough to do, Like, there's so many great sprinters this year. Quincy Wilson is going to the Olympics. I don't know. That's a good question. I like that question. Quincy Wilson. I love Quincy Wilson's story. I can tell you that. If he's going to make it, we'll see. We will see. There's a lot of really high-level 400-meter men. He's got to overcome a lot there. But time-wise, he has run some very impressive times. So I got to do a breakdown on him. I got to do a Quincy Wilson breakdown. Let me know if you guys want to see a Quincy Wilson breakdown. Yeah, for sure if he gets in the top 4. Yeah, we're going to show the races here. We got the races and going. So this is Coleman here. I'll show the whole race too. Again, we'll show the whole race here. This real quick. I think with the audio and everything, we should be okay with it. Boom. So pretty good at this point. You know, and so, I mean, you don't need to see the end right there. But point being, right, so he gets out in front. Looks good getting out in front. I think he kind of struggled getting into his top speed. Right? I think he struggled in getting his hips all the way through. I think he can get better with getting the full amount of hips all the way forward. We do have the races. We have the 100 meter, or we have all the heats. So I'm really just doing all the 100 meter heats. So we had Christian Coleman. He's heat 3. We had Noah Lyles run heat 2. I just showed that live a couple minutes ago. And then we had Fred Kerley as well. Yeah, I mean, really good start. Really good job getting into his top speed. Let's take a look here. I'm trying to watch the video, give some feedback as well as be able to respond to the comments at the same time. Good action with those first few steps. Just love that start. He does such a great job of getting those hips through. Great reaction time. And gets out with those steps as well as gets up with the knees. Did Kyrie make the final? Let me see. I don't think he did make the final. I just went over the finals. No, he did not. He came in 10th. He was the first out of the final. Kyrie King was the first out. 997. Kendall Williams made it. Really, so Kendall Williams ran 9962. And then Kyrie King ran 9966. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 9-6 in the finals, to be honest with you. With this type of wind, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 9-6. They're going to be moving. They're going to be going 100%. I wouldn't be surprised. If Fred Kerley goes home, though, that's going to be crazy. It's hard to say Fred Kerley's going to go home. I mean, he didn't have a great start. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I mean, 976 probably good enough to be on the relay team, though. Our relay team's going to be great this year. So many great sprinters. Great job. So, I mean, similar thing as we saw with Sha'Carri yesterday. Really good job getting that left leg up. That right leg ends up almost being like a stability leg, I feel like, because it's a little bit more turned out to the side. I just made that video about the hip rotation. See how his hips are rotated towards the camera here to the side? It really allows that left knee to come up and through, gets good height, gets good width, lands with the heel, and then here, because he's already turning out with the hip, that allows the back knee to be able to come right up and through. The right knee doesn't get as much length as much as it does create good stability in that right foot strike, so then he can get good length on the left side. So he's much more stable within that right foot and how that right foot strike in the ground, and then that left leg is really more for the length, really trying to maximize how far out he's able to get there, which is just really good to be able to see. I think it's important to be able to take a look at Christian Coleman with his start. I'm always using his start to be able to help athletes be able to better understand. Love that first arm action too. As he's coming out, really good job. No wasted movement. I see some people that will kind of waste some of that action out of that front hand. He does a great job of really pushing straight forward with the hand, gets out with that shoulder, up with the elbow, lands with the heel high, doesn't drop that, and does a great job of maintaining all the weight forward, right? Keeps the weight on the front part of his foot as he's transitioning through each one of those steps there. Slowly lifts the heel too. Is not fast to get the heel up, stays in that drive phase, stays patient. You can see all these guys do a really good job of running their race, right? When it comes down to it, you got to be focused on how well that you can run the race. Yep, we saw, I don't know if you guys want to see anybody else today. Christian Coleman, this was him running that 986. The only non-wind aided, I want to say, right? Yep, we had 2.6 in the first heat. We had 3 meters per second in the second heat. It's kind of interesting too, like if you go and you think about it, with that second heat, 9962, right? Because we're comparing Kerley King. Let's talk about Kerley King not making it. 9962, 9966. Kendall Williams had 3 meters per second of wind, right? Backwind, where Kerley King had 1.56 meters per second. So half the amount of wind, but was slower by, what is it? 4 thousandths of a second. So you give Kerley King that same amount of wind, what ends up happening? Does he run faster at 997? Does he make it to the finals? I guess we'll never know. At least we won't know for today. But the interesting conversation, though. Interesting thought process. What is your guys' opinion on that? Do you guys think that that should take into consideration when you're looking at the finals? Because now Kerley King, he did all that training, did all that work, is not in the finals because he had a little bit less wind at his back. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, you can't really blame too much on this. You got to come in second place, right? You got to run a little bit better time. But I think that that is definitely an interesting part of the whole thing. I mean, Kerley King was wind legal. Kendall Williams was not wind legal. Kerley King gets left out the finals. Kendall Williams in the finals. Very interesting. Yeah, that's got to be very, very tough pill to swallow to not be able to get all the way through because of a little bit of wind. So, yeah, we'll go back and look at these again here. I'm going to be on the stream for maybe another 10, 15 minutes or so. I think that based off of what we watched here, oh yeah, we could take a couple other looks at the Noah Lyles run. Based off what we saw today, I think Christian Coleman goes through. I think that Noah Lyles goes through. I think that Kenny Bednarik goes through. I think that Fred Kerley is going to be left off when it's all said and done. Look at Kenny Bednarik, looks focused, man. Look at that. He looks focused. He looks good. He looks like he's ready to make a statement at the U.S. Olympic trials. Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Quincy Wilson, yep. I mean, we can go and see how that goes because I think he's going to end up being in the first heat. We have the 8,000 meter semis going on right now. See, that's why track, you know, just takes forever. Is, you know, you have we have, what is it? It's showing right now. Oh, it's only the 800? Oh, yeah, it's only 800. Sorry. 800 meters. But yeah, so we have Bednarik looking like he is a man on a mission. There's Noah Lyles. This is the second heat. 9.8, 9.82. Again, really good start. I like the all red. Look at how high Kenny is, how early he gets into his block too. He's ready from the whole time. Keeping that hip nice and high, like that first action. I think 9.6 is going to be, I think we're going to see 9.6 today. Personally, I think we're going to see 9.6. And then you can see the time go in the back, you know, so here we could see the time, because sometimes when watching it's kind of frustrating because you'll see them cross, but then the time's still going. So you can see they started and the time hasn't started yet. Now we got the time going. Yeah, Kenny Bednarik looks good. Got out really nicely. Got out really cleanly there. Gets to his top speed. Like the arm swing. I mean, in a lot of ways, Kenny Bednarik is just a very prototypical runner when it comes to like what you want to see out of a high level sprinter. I feel like Kenny Bednarik does a lot of those things, right? You can just see a lot of calmness within his sprinting, a lot of um, he's just very symmetrical when he's going through. It's very calm in each one of those steps. I mean, this is why he's one of the best 200-meter runners as well. And that's what's interesting about this. I mean, we give a lot of consistent praise for Noah Lyles and what he was able to do with the 100 and 200. And I guess Kenny Bednarik has been more of a 100-meter person for a little bit longer. But I think that Kenny Bednarik being able to run 982, you know, like he's just underrated, right? I mean, he's one of the best 200 meter guys in the world. Yeah, right? Logan, he has such great, efficient arm action. Like, look at how quick it's almost. It reminds me of Johan Blake. You know, have you guys seen that one where he ran the 200 where he ran like 19? I forgot what he ran, 19.2, maybe 19.3, somewhere in there, and he was just so clean with that hand action. And that's what Kenny Bednarik looks like. Just very clean. Yes, exactly. 1926. Like his hand, when you saw Johan Blake do that, just like his hands were just like right by his side, nice and quick. Same type of thing that we're seeing here with Kenny Bednarik. Just so quick, so efficient, no wasted energy in the back, but still really good on that front side mechanics. Like if he can get a start like this, Kenny Bednarik gets a start like this, I do not see people passing him. If he gets out in front, if he could stay with Christian Coleman, it would be great if Kenny Bednarik is put next to Christian Coleman. If that ends up being the case, that's going to help him out a ton. It wouldn't be as good if he's next to Fred Kerley or next to even Noah Lyles, I'd say. You know, he needs to be next to Christian Coleman, maybe even next to Christian Miller. So then he can get a good start, have that kind of push with the start. Because even here, like Jai Austin got a little bit better start than him out the gate, a little better reaction, picked up a little bit more distance, right? Got into a good position. I think if we see, oh yeah, that's true too. If Courtney Lindsay, if he's next to Courtney Lindsay or Christian Coleman, he's going to be in a great spot to be able to run a great time. Yeah, if he's next to, you know, Fred Kerley, I don't think it's going to be as good. Where's Bowling? That's hilarious. Matt Bowling is maybe in the 200. We'll see. We'll see if Matt Bowling can do anything there. Oh yeah, he's only doing the 400. Okay. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting because even here he gets to this and doesn't look like he's pushing very hard, right? He gets out in front of everybody. He gets to this position, Kenny Bednarik, and he's just kind of relaxing. I would say that Kenny Bednarik ran an easier 982 than Noah Lyles ran with the 9. I think that Noah Lyles pushed more to run 9.8 and to be the winner, where Kenny Bednarik didn't push as hard to run 9.82. And like we kind of already saw, I mean, he looks very, very focused at the end, right? When he saw, I mean, I just like this look that he gave. He just gave like intimidating, like, I'll be back. I'm coming for you. He wants to see what he's doing with that celebration. Eric out here just stirring the pot. Yeah, I know. Freaking Matthew Bowling. What happened to Matthew Bowling? Just couldn't get it together. Do you think Georgia ended up impacting that? I don't know. Tough to say. Tough to say. But let me see. Do we have the... Nope, we still don't have the... Oh, yeah, we do. We have the lane position. So we have Kenny Bednarik in between Courtney Lindsay and Noah Lyles. He's going to be in lane 6. Kenny Bednarik, that's a good position. It's a good position for Kenny Bednarik to be in right there. I think that he can certainly go. I mean, this is going to be a great race. This is going to be another stacked team. I mean, we have Fred Kerley, Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarik, Courtney Lindsay, and Christian Coleman all right next to each other. Fred Kerley lane 8, Noah Lyles lane 7, Kenny Bednarik lane 6, Courtney Lindsay lane 5, Christian Coleman lane 4. That is a intimidating set of sprinters that you're going against. Coleman, Lyles, Lindsay is the prediction for Michael Everett. I think it's going to be Bednarik, Lyles, Coleman. Coleman first, Lyles second, Bednarik third. That's what I think. And to go with Michael Everett, winning time 977. Depending on the wind, if we have over 2 meters per second wind, then I think that we're going to see a sub 9.7 win. I think that, yeah, depending on the amount of wind, we'll see what that ends up being. But if we have a over 2 second wind, then I think it's much more likely. The more wind, the more likely Coleman wins. The least amount of wind, or the less amount of wind, then I think that Noah Lyles may be able to get the win. But I think it's going to definitely be sub 9.7. I think we're seeing sub 9.7 today. I think we're seeing a 9.6, high 9.6 today. That's my prediction. Rising my prediction, ball time. We'll run a 9.55. Too late. It's too late, Michael. White Lightning is not going to be able to run. Is not going to be able to make it. I'd love for that to be the case. Yeah, this 100 meters is going to be crazy. I'm mad I'm not going to be able to see it. I'm not going to be here live for that. I'm going to make a video of it, though. I'm going to be posting a video later tonight, give a full breakdown, all that type of good stuff. It's going to be really fun to be able to see that. I'm very excited with that. I'm going to be on the screen for another 5 minutes or so, but I think that we're going to see, I think Bednarik. I know, Michael, you're not a big fan of Bednarik. You're thinking Lindsay over Bednarik. It's funny how many people, yesterday when we started the heats, I was talking about Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles was in the first heat, and we saw Noah Lyles, obviously win his heat, but everybody's talking about Fred Kerley this, show Fred Kerley, blah, 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 blah. And now everybody's hopped off Fred Kerley so quickly. It's crazy. Yeah, Courtney Lindsay. So everybody's just already saying, oh yeah, Fred Kerley's not making it. We're talking about the world champion 2 years ago, had an injured season, and now is not even going to be on the Olympic team. At least not for the 100. He'll probably be in there for the 4x1 for sure. Yeah, I agree. It's starting to look good it started to look good yesterday, right? In the heats, Fred Kerley looked good enough to be able to run a lot better time. He didn't have a great start in the semifinals, so we might be able to see a little bit better. If we could see a better start, the thing is, it's not a great position. Being in that 8th spot, if he was similar to what we were talking about with Bednarik, if he was a little bit closer to Coleman, a little bit closer to Courtney Lindsay, maybe he's going to be in a better position. But we have Justin Gatlard Jr. It's going to be in lane 1. Goes till Sunday. What else in the world is dropping? Yeah, I know. We're going to see. Jamaica, it's going to be interesting to see how Jamaica does. Obviously, with, Marcel Jacobs, I'd love to talk about the whole landscape right now. We have Marcel Jacobs, too, running some good times. I always think Zarnell Hughes is, you never know when he's going to be able to put it together. I've thought that he was going to put it together for a while. Oblique Seville, I don't know if he has it in him. Omanyala, he's a threat for sure. Oblique Seville, obviously he beat Noah Lyles about a month ago, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Oh yeah, Logan White, you're rooting for Jacobs? I know, because Shane Thompson, he's an interesting one. He's definitely somebody that could be more of a surprise. I would say that he might be more of a threat than Oblique Seville, to be honest. I don't think Oblique Seville, I mean, yeah, he ran a great time. I just don't love his drive phase to top end. You know, like once he gets into his top end, he just doesn't look as good. I mean, Noah Lyles talked about it. We could say as much as we want about where the Noah Lyles kind of went wrong with the starter, and you can blame the starter, blah, blah, blah. To me, I think, you know, it's hard to say that he would have done tremendously better if he would have been for sure won or anything like that if Noah Lyles reacted a little bit better. But that was just in that situation, that particular time. You know, he obviously didn't put it together. I think when it's gonna be when Oblique Seville is against all the top sprinters, we just haven't seen him put it together. We've seen him put it together in one-off races against some of these guys, but yeah, I like Marcel Jacobs too, and he's coming along. When Marcel Jacobs is putting it together in the end of the season, like he is now, then we a lot of times see some of the best times. Angel Reese, I know. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. We had some of these people running the 100. White Lightning. Have some of these other sports get into this. Exactly. I agree. Oblique won't beat Christian Coleman. No way. I don't think so. I think but it could be, I mean, because Shane Thompson could be somebody that's competitive later on. I think that it's going to be, oh, wow, Jacobs or Simbini for gold. Definitely not Simbini. I don't think so. I think Tobogo. I think Tobogo's going to be a bit of a surprise. I wouldn't, I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to compete as much on the 200 as he might be able to compete well at the 100. We'll see. We'll see. I would love to see Tobogo be a competition, you know, a little bit higher competition. Most of them trying to learn how to pole vault. We'll see. We'll see with Kashane. We'll see with the Olympic trials. We have the Jamaican Olympic trials next week, so we'll be able to take a look. We have the women's 800 semis going on right now. After that, it's going to be the men's 400-meter semis. We got some good times. We got some good competition. I got to do a video on Quincy Wilson. I got to do a video for, or I'm going to do a video too for the end of, or the final. I'm going to have to sign off here. Yeah, definitely in the 200, I think he could do it, or he's going to be competitive. I'm excited to see that. Yeah, time will tell with a lot of these guys. So I think Jacob's going to be competitive. Obviously, all the Americans are going to be competitive, whatever three end up going. We have Jacobs. We never know if Subin Chin is going to just have an amazing start and all of a sudden, you know, run something just out of this world. So, I mean, there's always somebody there, it seems like, from Asia, you know, in one of those countries, Japan or China. So we'll see if that ends up happening. There's a lot of good guys. Yeah, that's going to be the question. How many golds can Lyles walk away with? That's going to be amazing to see. Winning time between 9.75 and 9.78. I think it's going to be below that. I think it's going to be closer to 9.7. I'm excited to see this under 9.7 for the men's finals. Let's get this. I'm going to sign off here, guys. Thanks for being on. I'm going to, we'll be back during the week. We have obviously a lot of great things going on this week with the 200 meter. So I'll be back for the 200 meter. I'm doing a breakdown. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for the likes. And we'll go ahead and make a post. If you guys want to rewatch some of the semifinals, you could see that. Sub 9.7. Yeah, I mean, based off the win, that's why I'm saying sub 9.7. Based off some of the wins, obviously it started slowing down a little bit. Went from in the threes down to into 1.5. But if we can get a 3 meter per second wind, we're getting sub 9.7. To me, that's my prediction. I think it's got to be under 9.7. I think 9.75 is about a good number for the win. I think that Noah Lyles is going to run sub 9.75. Probably not low 9.7s today based off of him running 9.8 already. And Kenny Bednarik, the fact that he ran 9.82, that's why I'm saying that he's going to be the other person through. Christian Coleman, Noah Lyles, and Kenny Bednarik, those are the people that are getting through, in my opinion. I got to sign off. Thanks for watching. The finals are going to be, I keep on looking at the chat and I want to answer the questions for you guys. The finals are going to be at 7, what was the time? 7:30, 7. Yeah, see, I have to go 7:49. I might be able to get back actually for that. So, thanks for being here, guys. If you can, like, subscribe. That's all awesome. Would really appreciate that. Yeah, we still have another hour and a half, basically, until the final. So, even if there was a final, I probably wouldn't be able to stay on this whole time anyway. But anyway, thanks, guys, for watching. We'll talk to you soon.